Well, it's a very warm welcome back to second half independent off-tube studio commentary. Game at Craven Cottage, Fulham leading Swansea by 3-1 at the start of the second half. Swansea did get that goal back relatively late on in the first half, but then that goal from Mitrovic restoring Fulham's 2-goal lead. We'll have to see a big improvement from Swansea City in this second half. Had a lot of the ball in the first half, but not too much to show for it. And Fulham in the end quite clinical with the chances that they got. Swansea will point to the first goal that Fulham scored, which was offside. Mitrovic did stray offside, the flag never went up. But after that, Fulham were able to just pick out the chances. They got to give themselves that 3-1 lead at the start of the second half. And straight away a long ball over the top here, looking for Mitrovic, which is out by Kyle Norton. Not kept in play here by Cabango. So it will be a throw-on to Fulham now down the left-hand side. I'll just remind you of the 2-11s once we see this throw-on taken. We'll see whether Fulham can get this ball into the penalty areas with Joe Bryan, who is back for the second half after that injury scare he had right at the end of the first half. His throw to Harrison Reed is picked off here by Pirot, but it's one straight back here for Fulham, and it's Bryan's ball into the penalty area, headed away by Kyle Norton. The loose ball drops to Declan Reed, who hits it on the volley. It's rising and rising more, going over the bar in the end, and out for a goal kick. So Fulham, no changes at the start of the second half. Paolo Gazzaniga is in goal. It's a back four of Dennis Adoy, Tosin Adebayo, Tim Ream and Joe Bryan. The two in midfield, holding midfielders are John Michel Seri and Harrison Reed. The three ahead of them are Harry Wilson, Neeskins Cabano and Bobby De Cordova-Reid, with Alexander Mitrovic as the front man. As for Swansea City, it's Ben Hamer in goal with the back three of Ben Cabango, Kyle Norton and Ryan Manning. The four in midfield are Ethan Laird, Flynn Downs, Matt Grimes and Jake Bidwell. Corey Smith came on during the first half of the injured Olivier Ntcham, and he joins Jamie Patterson and Joel Pirot as the front three for Swansea. Ryan Manning now at the edge of his own penalty area under pressure, playing the ball down the left-hand side. It's picked up here now by Harrison Reed, going back towards Tim Ream. Under pressure there from Pirot. Space here now for Joe Bryan to find Cabano, who's getting away from Cabango. Cabango's on a yellow as well. He's got to watch it. He picked up his yellow card for a foul on Cabano in the first half. Cabano gets all the way to the byline, puts a cross in, which is aimed to Declan-Reed. It's a header from Manning. Second header from Manning, gets the ball away from his own penalty area. Patterson then trying to turn away from Adoy, and he is dispossessed at the edge of his own box. And here comes Seri now with a low ball into the penalty area, not too far away from Mitrovic, who's now hunting his fourth goal after getting a first half hat-trick. But on this occasion, Hamer is down and is able to make the save. Ethan Laird now brings the ball out for Swansea City, goes square to Flynn Downs. And Kyle Norton now stepping forward. We need to see more urgency from Swansea, more creativity to try and break down this Fulham 11. We're pretty resolute in sealing off their half during the first 45 minutes. It really was difficult for Swansea to get near the penalty area. Now Matt Grimes brings the ball forward, and it goes out towards the left-hand side for Manning. Manning inside now, looking for Patterson. Back to Manning again. Now Patterson for options inside the penalty area. He does square to Grimes. Grimes across now. A chance here for Downs. Getting towards the penalty area. Now Smith. Back towards the right-hand side here. Laird gets the ball away from Bryan, but Bryan straight back on his feet, trying to close down Ethan Laird. He then lays the ball off here for Cabango. Cabango could have crossed it. Chose to go back towards Laird. Laird's cross into the box is cleared by Reed. Ball still alive here for Swansea down the right, though. Here comes Laird again. That's a good ball in, and that's a great chance lifted over the bar there by Flynn Downs. And that's a really good opportunity after the ball played in from the right-hand side. Patience from Swansea this time. It looked like they'd potentially missed their chance to get the ball in first time. But Laird stuck to his task, got a good ball in towards the edge of the area, and Downs has got to do better there. He's not 5 yards out. It's still about 12, 13 yards from goal, but nobody's closing him down. It's arriving perfectly onto his right foot, and I think he would have been disappointed that he couldn't at least test the goalkeeper. But Fulham, having taken the goal kick, lose the ball pretty quickly. Swansea City are back in possession here now with Ben Cabango. Over towards the right-hand side now. Ethan Laird gets charged down. And the Ball now with Jean-Michel Seri. Inside to Wilson. Adebayo now lifts a huge. Well, that's not a pass. That's just a clearance. Not quite sure what Tosin Adebayo was trying to do there. A bit of a sort of frustrated smile on his face as well as he realises he's just given the ball back pretty much as a gift back towards Swansea City. And the visitors now playing out from the back. But so far, haven't had too many opportunities to get forward. Just that one chance down the right-hand side with the ball played into Flynn. But his Flynn Downs, but his header going back towards Norton now, who steps forward, gets away from Joe Bryan, and then lays the ball off now for Ethan Laird as the visitors once again in possession, but stopped on the halfway line here, not able to get further forward than this. Ethan Laird skipping past Joe Bryan, but leaves the ball here now for Kyle Norton, who's joined the attack pretty much as a midfielder here. Norton over towards Manning on the left-hand side. And now it's a chance here for Patterson to get into the penalty area. Tries to lift a cross in. It's charged down. It's out for a corner. So a chance here now for Swansea to get players into the box. Positive start here from Russell Martin's men, and it needs to be. They have a 2-goal deficit to try and make up in this second half. Would have hoped it would have just been 1 goal after that strike from Patterson on 38 minutes. But then the strike from Mitrovic on 45, restoring Fulham's 2-goal lead. They need 3-1 now, 52 minutes gone. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Corner kick to Swansea. The ball played to the edge of the area. Manning with the strike. Scuffed effort. The ball gets back to Ryan Manning. He lifts it to the right-hand edge of the penalty area this time. And the strike gets a deflection, and that is out for another corner. The strike from Ethan Laird got a deflection. And Laird turning to the travelling Swansea fans just to G them up a little bit. Get some more support from the travelling Swansea fans. It's a long way to travel on a weekday night. South Wales to West London. Although in terms of navigation it's fairly straightforward. You could pretty much do nearly the whole journey on that one motorway, the M4, which gets you very close to Craven Cottage. But so far, travelling Swansea fans haven't had too much to cheer in this game, apart from that 1 goal from Patterson. Seen a lot of possession for their side with not too much to show for it. Harrison Reed now for Fulham, giving a free kick away, but it's still inside the Swansea half. Now it's with Kyle Norton back towards Cabango, being closed down by Mitrovic. Still a decent pace to this game, although Swansea, you can see that they're sort of caught in two minds as to they want to play quicker to try and get back into this game, but they're also aware that if they start spreading the ball around too quickly, then there's a chance they could lose it, and then of course there's a chance that Fulham could increase their lead. So a bit of a quandary here for Swansea as to how to play out this second half. They've just lost the ball inside their own half as well, and now it's a pass played early to Mitrovic. Good work there from Kyle Norton, under pressure from Decordova-Reid as well, to keep the ball alive there for Swansea. Now it's with Flynn Downs. Not a good pass though to Pirot, who's still not getting any service at all. Joel Pirot. It really has been a tough evening for him. And it's not a case of him not being in the right position. There was one occasion actually in the first half where Corey Smith put a great ball in from the right-hand side, and nobody in a Swansea shirt was close to it. You'd like to think that perhaps Pirot would have got closer to that one, but other than that, there's not really been anything for the Swansea front man to work with here in this game. Easkins Cabano now down the left-hand side, trying to bring the ball forward for Fulham. Good challenge there from Laird. But as Laird made that challenge, he hits the deck and he's in pain, as is Joe Bryan. Bryan was in trouble at the end of the first half, and it looks like the Fulham left-back may need to go off here. He's holding that left knee again, so there's problems here for Joe Bryan. Just gives me a chance to quickly run through the scores. Barnsley leading Nottingham Forest by a goal. Barnsley leading Nottingham Forest by a goal to nil. Derby leading Reading by a goal to nil. Luton now 4-0 up against Coventry City, and it's still goalless in the games between Millwall and Bristol City, and Peterborough United and Bournemouth. In the Champions League, the second halves are just about to resume in the 8 o'clock kickoffs in the Champions League. Bayern Munich leading Dynamo Kiev by 2 goals to nil. Goals for Bayern Munich scored by Lewandowski on 12 minutes from the penalty spot and on 27 minutes from open play. Benfica still lead against Barcelona by a goal to nil. Nunes with the goal for Benfica. Juve against Chelsea is still 0-0. And Villarreal against Manchester United against Villarreal, I should say, is also still goalless. It's the end of the evening, by the way, for Joe Bryan. He's not going to be able to run off that injury, and so former Swansea City man Alfie Mawson is getting ready to come on. Mawson on the field now for Fulham. It'll be interesting to see whether he actually plays as the left back. Can play in that role, Mawson, if needs be. We'll always have him more as a centre back, really. So Mawson on the field now for Fulham. So looking to try. Meanwhile, it looks like everything is fine with Ethan Laird, so he's going to be able to come back on the field. Just being beckoned on by the referee now. And just looking at the way Fulham have set up, it looks as though Ream has gone to the left-back position, with Mawson joining Adebayo as the centre-back. De Cordova-Reid with the throw for Fulham, flicked on by Harry Wilson, played away, but only as far as Mitrovic. He then plays it back to Harrison. Goes square to Mawson. His first touch of the ball. And just looking at where... Yeah, that's absolutely right. So Ream is now the left back with Mawson and Adebayo as the two centre-backs. As the ball now goes down the right-hand side, Odoi is chasing that one. Gets the ball into the 6-yard box, and Norton is forced to play it out. And it's going to be a corner kick to Fulham. Shades of what we saw in the first half, with a lot of possession for Swansea, not too much to show for it. Fulham get one chance, get one ball down the line, and all of a sudden it's a set piece and a chance for the home side to further increase their lead. Mawson now getting into the penalty area. It's another threat for Swansea to bear in mind. Bryan would have been someone who could whip the ball in, whereas Mawson is someone who could head the ball in, as this corner kick is played in by Wilson, headed back out towards the edge of the area, and then Seri looking for the return pass back to Wilson. Trouble with that was that Harry Wilson had stepped away from that corner of the field, and there was no chance for him getting on the end of that one. It was a decent ball in from Wilson in the end. He wasn't too far away from Odoi. Jumping for that one, just whistled past him as he was trying to get his head to the ball. Swansea in trouble here, though, as they're trying to play out from the back. Wilson there unhappy. He felt it should be a throw to Fulham. Intimate disagrees, though. It's just going to be a throw to Swansea, as the first Fulham fans beckoning for Jake Bidwell to get back. I mean, as I say, it's usually one of the easiest defences on a football field, is trying to... Oh, in the meantime now, but we were getting shots of fans returning to their seats late, and suddenly the picture, the off-tube pictures that we're getting, suddenly went back to live play, and it looked as though there was a bit of a strong challenge here from... well, it was Bidwell that was brought down by Wilson, and it was just a strong collision, actually. I think perhaps the Fulham fans were a bit unhappy with the Swansea players' reaction, but as I say, he was clattered into there by Wilson, so he certainly was well within his rights to show a bit of pain there, Jake Bidwell. And the ball now back with Matt Grimes. As I say, Bidwell can always expect a little bit of a warmer reception, shall I say, diplomatically, from the Fulham fans, bearing in mind that he's an ex-Brentford and an ex-QPR player. So plenty of reason for Fulham fans to make him feel as unwelcome as possible here at Craven Cottage. But the ball now out after a bit of a miscued clearance there from Ben Hamer, who also has his past in West London, having had a stint at Brentford himself. Ball now out for a throw to Fulham down the left-hand side. Slightly more worried look on Russell Martin's face now, as his side has still got half an hour to get back into this game. We're just getting up to the 60-minute mark now. But the fact is that Swansea haven't had anywhere near enough attacking possession. Haven't seen a touch count as yet, but I would guess that Joel Pirot must have the fewest touches on the field. He really has been anonymous so far, the Swansea frontman, with 17 on his shirt. But now it's Fulham trying to get forward here as Odoi is clattered into by Bidwell. No free kick, though. Possession now back for Swansea. Patterson going back towards Kyle Norton. Norton being closed down by Mitrovic, so he's forced to go back towards Ben Hamer, who just steps out from his penalty area. Looking up now, Ben Hamer plays it short towards Flynn Downs. Cabango now down the right-hand side, back to Downs. He plays the ball forward, which is blocked immediately by Decordova-Reid. And now played back towards Tim Ream. As the visitors pressing here, Fulham not able to get out of their own half, but with the scoreline being what it is, they're not going to be too rushed into doing it. First thought is to make sure they don't give Swansea easy possession, as Cabano there clearly clatters into Ethan Laird. It's an easy decision there for the referee, Joshua Smith. Free kick to Swansea. And the ball now back over with Matt Grimes. I'll make the point, same point I made in the first half. We need to see more of Matt Grimes. If Swansea are going to start to generate a bit more creativity in that midfield, then their captain, left-footed Grimes, needs to be involved. He's been sitting a little bit too deep so far. Swansea just need to try and push forward here as Downs goes over to Manning down the left-hand side. His ball is stopped though by Dennis Adoy, being closed down by Jamie Patterson. Adoy then skips past Manning, goes down. There might have been a foul there on Adoy. Referee was in a great position to spot that. Mr. Smith decides that there was no foul. So the visitors still in possession here now with Flynn Downs. Plays it forward towards Patterson, the goal scorer for Swansea. Manning inside now to Grimes, but this is still at least 45, if not 50 yards away from Fulham's goal. Closer to the centre circle really than it is to the penalty area, so the home side won't worry too much about this. Now they spread play over to the right-hand side is Swansea. Cabango gets it to Laird. Laird under pressure, going back now towards Grimes, who's been closed down by Mitrovic, who's gone all the way back to his own penalty area. Now Laird plays the ball past Decordova-Reid, and he can't get past Easkin's Cabano. Cabano just positions himself right on the goal line and effectively doesn't give Laird anywhere to go. And Laird just bumps into Cabano. Although, in fairness, I think Cabano makes the most of that, but in that kind of position, you would always expect the decision to go in favour of the defending team. It's a chance now for Fulham to clear their lines. So a short free kick taken here by Paolo Gazzaniga towards Decordova-Reid. To Ream now, gives it away straight away to Grimes, and Grimes can't use that. That's a terrible ball from Tim Ream, but it was also a heavy touch from Grimes, and he wasn't able to get that ball into the penalty area. We have an equaliser at Oakwell. It's now Barnsley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. I'll confirm the goal scorer in just a moment. But a big goal that for Nottingham Forest, as they're looking to try and recover from what has been a very difficult start. Is now having to track back into their own half. Here come Fulham now breaking into the penalty area. Was a ball from Wilson, but then it's stopped and quickly cleared back into midfield. But that wasn't a good ball, and straight away the visitors have to do some work in defence here as Wilson heading towards the penalty area, stopped by Manning, and then Wilson tripping Flynn Downs. So free kick to Swansea now level with the edge of their own penalty area. It is an equaliser for Nottingham Forest. They're still waiting for confirmation of the goal score, but of course Steve Cooper now in charge of Nottingham Forest, the former Swansea City manager. Got very close to getting Swansea back into the Premier League at the first time of asking, and got even closer at the second time of asking, but just fell short in the playoffs on both occasions. It's possession here for Swansea down the left-hand side. The ball heading towards the penalty area, but it's quickly cleared back into midfield. And now a chance here for Fulham to go on the attack down the left-hand side. Oh, that's not a good ball, though. That's not a good ball from Reid. It was the right idea to play that one through to Mitrovic, but just a little bit too short. It was Zinker Angel, by the way, that had got the equaliser for Nottingham Forest against Barnsley. 1-1 in that game now. Derby still leading Reading by 1-0. Luton leading against Coventry by 4-0. And now Millwall have taken the lead against Bristol City. Wallace with the goal, coming off the bench on 60 minutes and then scoring from the penalty spot on 64 to give Millwall the lead in that game. Peterborough still 0-0 with Bournemouth, as the ball is threaded through the middle now to Alexandra Mitrovic. The flag goes up with a bit of a delay, and the Fulham fans all up in arms along that right-hand touchline. no doubt telling the linesman that you're incorrect, sir, or something similar to that. Anyway, that they wouldn't disagree. They wouldn't agree with that decision. But it looked like he was offside. It was one of those where the linesman just waited a second or two. But the flag went up, and now it's Swansea on the attack. Manning's ball into the box is too close to Gazaniga, who makes a comfortable save. Former Southampton and Spurs keeper. Just waiting to see whether he wants to roll this short or not. Signed on a free from Spurs over the summer. Gazaniga already spent last season on loan at Elche. You can see that even his bench opportunities were starting to get a bit restricted at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But now has a chance to get regular Championship football here for Fulham. Fulham now once again. This has been a theme throughout this second half. They've seen even less of the ball here, Fulham, in the second half than they have in the first. But again, you could almost say so what, because most of this possession for Swansea is in the middle of the park, and they're still not getting it done, as it's turning into a miserable night for the Sky Blues. Coventry City now 5-0 down away at Luton Town. There's the one consolation. It's not the longest journey for those travelling Coventry fans. Coventry to Luton isn't exactly cross-country, but even so, they won't be pleased to have seen their side hammered this evening. 2 goals for Adebayo, 2 goals for Cornick, and a goal for Berry as well. 4 of those 5 goals coming in the first half. It's a real blistering performance there from Luton Town. Meanwhile, it's Swansea, as always, in possession here inside the Fulham half, getting closer to that penalty area. Now it's with Jake Bidwell, lifts across, which gets a deflection off Dennis Odoi. That takes all the pace off the ball and gives a lot of time here for Gazaniga to come out and make the save. No problems with that one at all for the Argentine goalkeeper. And we can see now Fulham preparing to make a substitution. Trying to see who that was. It did look to me as though Marco Silva was preparing one of his substitutes to come on the field. Let's confirm that in a moment. There's just been one change each so far, both of them enforced because of injury, with Corey Smith coming on for Olivier Ntcham after 32 minutes for Swansea because of what looked like a hamstring injury for Ntcham. And then an injury that Joe Bryan actually had towards the end of the first half, wasn't able to shake it off in the second. Looked like a left knee injury for the Fulham left back, replaced by Alfie Mawson, as Harry Wilson now in possession for Fulham. Plays the ball down the left hand side. It goes straight out of play though. And now we are going to see a couple of changes here. Swansea making their second change of the evening. This is tactical rather than enforced, and Liam Cullen is coming on here for Flynn Downs. Liam Cullen is now on the field, and it looks like the other change is going to be Alexander Mitrovic. He's not going to get a chance to add to his hat-trick this evening, which I don't think he'll be too disappointed about. The first goal, he was offside, but he did really well to get to turn and get that ball onto his right foot. I have to say his second goal I think is my favourite of the evening, just because of the way he really measured it. But then the third goal, well, I might have to take that back. It's close between the third and the second in terms of which one of them was better, probably just because of the pace of that cross for the third. I think I'm just about going to say that his third goal was the best of the evening. But Mitrovic is off, and young Brazilian Rodrigo Muniz is now on in his place. So Muniz is on for these last 22 minutes. It's 68 minutes gone, independent of Tube Studio commentary. Fulham leading Swansea City by 3-1. Here comes Swansea again down the left, with Ryan Manning being stopped though by Harry Wilson, who's then brought down by Manning as well. That's good play from Wilson, not only to dispossess Manning but to then draw the foul. It just slows things down. It's more frustration here for Swansea. It's going to be more frustration for Barnsley. They led at half-time against Nottingham Forest, but now 2 quick goals. Zinker Angel on 61 minutes and a second goal for Forest on 68, just waiting for confirmation of the goal scorer there. But it looks as though there's a little bit of a bounce here now for Steve Cooper. It's so important that Nottingham Forest get into some sort of form after that nightmare start that they've had. Of course, Derby County now bottom of the league after that points deduction. And it may well be a case that Reading are going to get closer to them soon as well. Of course, there's certainly some suggestion that Reading might be facing a points deduction with all their irregularities over the last couple of years. But meantime here, back at Craven Cottage, nothing's changed. It's still dominance from Swansea, but it's all in midfield, not getting close to that Fulham penalty area. Patterson now finding Bidwell. Bidwell hoists a high ball up into the air, which, well, he tried his best there, Ethan Laird, but he couldn't keep it in play. Neither could Ben Cabango down the right-hand side. It's out for a throw to Fulham now as they prepare to make their third change. And it is going to be Ivan Caballero, Portuguese forward. Former Wolves man comes on for Harry Wilson. So Wilson is off and Caballero is on. With just under 20 minutes to try and get something done in this game. There's no more goalless games in the Champions League, though. I'll run you through the scores very quickly with this throw to Fulham. Still deep inside their own half. Bayern 2 against Bayern Munich 2, Dynamo Kiev 0. Benfica still leading against Barcelona by a goal to 0. Juventus now leading 1-0 against Chelsea. Manchester United are trailing at home 1-0 to Villarreal. And speaking to my colleague who was commentating on that game, he says that he can't remember a game where he's seen United having that many chances. So problems continuing there for Solskjaer, it would appear. Salzburg are now 2-0 up against Lille. Wolfsburg now lead by a goal to 0 against Sevilla. And so in terms of the Champions League and the Championship, just the one goalless game so far. That is the game at London Road. Peterborough United 0, Bournemouth 0. But here at Craven Cottage, Fulham now with a bit of brief possession in attack, and it's a ball played forward now which couldn't quite control it there, Muniz, although he got close to it, but just surrounded there by Swansea players. And in the end it's a long clearance now from Ryan Manning, looking for Jake Bidwell, who's still playing further forward than Joel Pirot in this game. Really haven't seen anything of the Swansea forward, and I don't mean to pick on him. It's certainly not a criticism of him exclusively. I think that it's a team effort, the fact that the striker's not getting any service. But part of that, of course, is that you have to get yourself into those right positions, and perhaps Pirot could be a little bit more involved. Manchester United, by the way, have just equalised against Villarreal, so sparing some blushes there. But certainly United will be looking to try and push on and get the win in that game. While it's Swansea City getting caught inside their own half field. That wasn't too far away from Seri dispossessing Norton, and then Pirot is brought down by Alfie Mawson. That is going to be a free kick now, and in the meantime we're going to see another change here for Swansea. Looks like it is going to be Jake Bidwell to go off. Just waiting for confirmation. Yes, it is going to be Jake Bidwell to go off, and it is Joel Latibaudière to come on in his place. So Latibaudière is on the field now, and I'm sure that Russell Martin will be hoping that he can get just a little bit more attacking play out of him. Bidwell's a good player on that left-hand side, but he certainly put in a shift today. Covered a lot of yards down that left-hand side. Not too much to show for it in terms of an attacking threat. As Swansea City now in possession with Kyle Norton out towards the left-hand side. Has some space there down the left, did Latibaudière, but he couldn't head towards the penalty area. The loose ball is back with Manning now. Plays it square towards Cabango. Cabango now going back towards the edge of the box. Manning there. Just in a bit of trouble, couldn't quite keep the ball alive, and all of a sudden now there could be a break on here for Fulham, but unfortunately Caballero, the ball just got stuck in his feet a little bit, so he wasn't able to go on the run like he would have liked. Forced in the end just to check back and hold the ball up for one of his teammates. Played back now towards Adebayo. Ball is one back though, and all of a sudden Swansea have a great chance as the ball reaches the edge of the area. That's not a good ball though. Disappointing that one from Liam Cullen, looking to try and play in Patterson down the left, but Cullen missed his teammate by about 3 or 4 yards there. That is disappointing, and the move breaks down. Swansea now lose possession just at the edge of the Fulham box. It's one back by Harrison Reed, and now Jean-Michel Seri clearly brought down there in midfield by Liam Cullen, who's certainly making himself known since he's come on the field. But so far, hasn't done too much to improve the attacking threat for Swansea. We've got 15 minutes to play in this game. Cullen was keen to win the ball back there, but he never got the ball, so I'm not sure what his arguments were there to the referee when that whistle went. First for Fulham, though, was to try and go back towards their own penalty area and able to keep the alive. And now the ball is played through towards Doveri. He's got a couple of options, tries to play it square. Arriving is Odoi. Good save from Hamer. Loose ball is headed out towards the edge of the area, and the chance here now, though it looks like it's going to be allowed to go out, it's going to be a throw to Fulham down the left. But this is we'll see. Oh, I tell you what, it looked to me like Doveri was close to being offside. The flag never went up. Holds the ball up at the edge of the area, he lays it off. Looks like his intended target was always Odoi, but there's good covering there. What a great challenge that is, by the way, from Ethan Laird. He's impressed me this evening, Ethan Laird, playing down the right and helping out in defence as well. And that's an excellent challenge to slide in like that to try and break the Fulham move down. Ball is now back with Ben Hamer. Hamer's clearance, ball headed out for a throw. There's Odoi with the header. Chance now for Swansea to restart play, trying to generate a little bit more urgency about what they're doing. There's still 14 minutes plus injury time to play, but the trouble is that there hasn't really been too much work for the Fulham goalkeeper Gazzaniga. That's been throughout the entire match. He's had some crosses to deal with and the like, but not too many efforts on target. And that must be the frustrating thing for Russell Martin, because statistically Swansea are dominating in possession now, 60-40 in favour of the visitors, as the ball is swept in from the right hand side. It's Latibodier's cross, it's hooked up in the air, played out towards the edge of the penalty area. Caballero chasing that one, and in the end giving the free kick away, says the referee. I wouldn't say there was a look of disbelief there from Caballero, but he was a little bit surprised that the free kick was given against him. I'm not sure why. I mean, he bumps into Manning and pushes him off the ball without ever actually getting the ball himself. So I'm not sure there's any arguments there as far as Caballero is concerned. But this is a free kick to Swansea City now on the left-hand side. And the left footer, Manning, is standing over this one. There's a whole line of Swansea City players waiting to get underneath this. Fulham are playing their offside line pretty much level with the penalty spot. Manning is ready now to whip this ball in. He's got 6 players to aim for inside the box. Aimed at the edge of the 6-yard box. Cabango was closest to it. It's initially headed away by Adebayo before Odoi gets ahead to it and plays it back into midfield. Corey Smith now finds Patterson. Patterson's pass gets a deflection off Odoi, but the move's still alive here for Swansea. No, it's not. There's an offside. Looks like Joel Pirot. Well, at least he's reminded us that he's on the field. Being a bit harsh on Pirot in this match, aren't I? But as I say, it's not the same criticism you could level at a midfielder. If there's a central midfielder who never sees the ball, then that really does raise question marks. A striker whose team aren't really getting into an attacking mode, you can't really blame him for not getting into the game at all. But that's been a frustrating evening for Pirot, and he's starting to hobble a little bit there in midfield as well. To keep an eye on him to see whether he's going to be able to play on or not. So you can see now Paolo Gazzaniga just beckoning for his teammates to get a bit further forward. He wants to put a bit more distance on this clearance, which he does. Bouncing ball is cleared by Kyle Norton. Bit of a raised boot potentially there from Niskins Cabano. He can't believe it. It's one of those where he's raised his foot, but the opposition player has also lowered his head a little bit. So I suppose it's just a case of whether the referee feels as though he was still a little bit reckless there from the Fulham number 7. Picked up now by Matt Grimes, again playing almost as a centre-back here for Swansea. We need to see him further up the field. Ball back with Ben Hamer. Now Manning's ball. It's a very risky one. It just about gets through towards Corey Smith, and his pass just about gets through towards Cabango. Well, Swansea reached halfway at the halfway line with their possession, but was very nearly a case of them losing the ball twice in dangerous positions. Now they've just slowed things down, held possession here on the halfway line with Cabango. Manning now out towards the left-hand side, where Laird has now ended up following the arrival of Latibaudière. So Laird is now playing down the left, and he gets stopped by Caballero. It's out for a throw to Swansea City. And Laird takes this himself, going back towards Kyle Norton. Norton back onto the halfway line here for Grimes. Almost playing as the sweeper now. Ball over the top looking for Latibaudière. He does head it down, but the loose ball won't get through to Joe Cullen. Ream puts a clearance. It doesn't get too much distance on it though. It's recycled here by Joel Pirot. Gets the ball to the edge of the area, gets it back. Pirot with the strike. That's his first effort on goal. Charged down at the edge of the area by Alfie Mawson. The loose ball is back in midfield. Swansea City still in possession though. It's over on the right-hand side now with Latibaudière. Plays it back towards Cabango. And now Norton over to Manning. The visitors enjoying a huge amount of possession now in these last few minutes, but it's all around about the halfway line, the centre circle, edging towards the penalty area, then having to come back towards the halfway line again. Really has been a struggle for Swansea to create any kind of dangerous chances in this game. So the ball now is back with Cabango on the halfway line. Across towards the right-hand side for Joel Latibaudière. Now with Manning. Over to Corey Smith. Smith's ball into the penalty area is headed away by Alfie Mawson. The loose ball, still a chance here as Seri is dispossessed. No free kick though. Seri might have expected it. Ball now reaches Laird on the left-hand edge of the penalty area. He has a strike. Wasn't the best option. It's charged down at the edge of the area. Loose ball picked up by Cullen, who feeds that ball into the penalty area, looking for Jamie Patterson. The ball is cleared up towards the halfway line, taken down by Muniz. That's really well played, and now he plays in Caballero, who is also well marked by Kyle Norton. Norton showing all of his experience there. When it looked like he was a second favourite at one point, he in the end was able to shepherd that one out for a throw. The ball is on the left-hand side. Still Fulham holding out resolutely inside their own half as Swansea City keep possession. Now they've lost the ball in midfield, and a strike all the way from inside his own half there from Rodrigo Muniz. I'm not surprised actually. He's not had too much of an opportunity to do anything in front of goal. So he saw the ball inside his own half. He saw that Hamer was outside his own penalty area, so he had a go. It certainly wasn't a bad effort from Muniz, although it was heading on target, but Hamer had plenty of time to get back on his line and make the save. Having seen Hamer play many times, that probably is his Achilles heel, is that he does wander off his line sometimes, and probably just a couple of times gets caught out at his near post as well. But as I say, he's been a stalwart goalkeeper for a long time now, as it's been a complete reversal at Oakwell. Barnsley were 1-up at home to Nottingham Forest at half-time. But now it's 3-1 to Forest, with goals from Azinka Angel, Bradley Johnson getting the second goal after he assisted for the first. Just waiting for confirmation of the third goal scorer. Derby still lead against Reading by a goal to nil. Luton still lead 5-0 against Coventry City. Millwall still lead against Bristol City by a goal to nil, and it's still goalless between Peterborough and Bournemouth. And so we're just waiting for a throw now for Fulham down the right-hand side. No surprise that he's not exactly sprinting to take this throw here, Alfie Mawson. His side have had to really work very hard in defence in this second half, just to try and absorb all this Swansea pressure. And they've done it well, it has to be said. There hasn't been much work for Paolo Gazzaniga at all throughout the 84 minutes that we've seen so far. He's had crosses to deal with, he's had a couple of shots to deal with, but by and large it's been his defenders that have had most of the work in trying to stop what Swansea have been trying to do. And, Swansea now once again trying to generate something. You just feel if Swansea were to get a goal in the next few minutes to make it 3-2, because Fulham are pretty much only set up for defending now, they have been for most of this second half, it could lead to a bit of a grandstand finish. It could lead to Swansea putting a real pressure on the home side. But the big if is whether Swansea can get that second goal to make it 3-2, because right now Fulham won't feel under much pressure at all. They have to make sure they just stop Swansea. But now Fulham have a chance to go forward themselves as a ball is played down the left-hand side. A bit too quick for Muniz, but it's going to be kept alive here by Cabano. Cabano gets all the way to the byline. Stopped by Ben Cabango, and it's out for a corner kick, which is good news for Fulham, bad news for Swansea. It's good news for the home side that they could just keep the ball away from their own half for a moment or two, and they'll be hoping for even longer than that. Referee Joshua Smith just asking the Fulham players to hurry up a little bit. Doesn't want them to waste too much time in taking this corner kick. See how this corner kick is going to be taken. Referee is being very patient here with Fulham. They're taking a very long time to take this corner. It's finally whipped in by Cabano, headed towards the edge of the area, picked up here by Caballero, who tries a curling effort. Would have been a stunning goal if it had worked, but the ball is a long way away from goal. No chance to get on the end of that one. We can now see Russell Martin still trying to get some instructions out to his players. Knows just how crucial it is that Swansea keep fighting to try and get that second goal, just to make things that a little bit more interesting towards the end of this game. Ream now puts the ball out for a throw as the visitors trying to push forward again. Meanwhile, substitute Joel Latibaudiere is down, and he looks like he's in real pain there as well, holding the back of his head. One of his teammates just patted him quite aggressively on the back. I'm not quite sure that's what Latibaudiere wanted at that particular moment. Tim Ream looks a little bit confused. He feels as though there was nothing wrong with that challenge. It has been given as a free kick to Swansea. Latibaudiere has picked himself up now. And Grimes and Cabango standing over this free kick. Just exchanging a couple of short passes between them. See, that's disappointing because now Fulham have spread out in the meantime, having been set up for the set piece. Ball goes out towards the right-hand side. Latibaudiere taking on the two Fulham players. Can't get past Decordova-Reid, who then tries to hold the ball up, and in the end gives the free kick away there. Latibaudiere. It will be a free kick to Fulham. It's Decordova-Reid. Just holding onto that ball as long as possible before he throws it back towards his goalkeeper, Paolo Gazzaniga. Alexander Mitrovic came off with nearly half an hour still to play, but clearly the man of the match this evening with 3 goals, 4 shots on target, and he also had an assist as well. In terms, well, I say had an assist, could have had a couple of assists if his teammates had finished the actions off a little bit better. Of course, he actually scored all 3 goals in the game himself. Been a very solid performance from Mitrovic. Now there's a bit of afters here. Strong collision, and it's going to take a couple of coaches here just to calm things down. We see Luis Boamorte, part of the Fulham coaching staff there, just going on the field. He's now being pushed away by a couple of the Swansea coaches who resented the fact that he went on the field very quickly there. Luis Boamorte, well, if anyone remembers him playing, he certainly wasn't a shrinking violet as a footballer. One of these players that very much played with his heart on his sleeve, and the 4th official is just asking him to get back on his side. And I think that's what the Swansea coaches were unhappy about, was the fact that Boamorte had stepped a long way away from the Fulham technical area and had effectively wandered onto the field to try and be an extra body there in that little pushing match between Latibaudiere and Muniz. Latibaudiere was frustrated, Muniz with a big smile on his face, and then Boamorte coming on to try and defuse the situation. But I think a couple of the Swansea people, a couple of the people on the Swansea bench felt that perhaps Boamorte's presence was just inflaming the situation. In actual fact, there wasn't too much on the field to report, really. It was just a quick collision after a foul. See that so often on a football field, so there was nothing really to get too concerned about. Perhaps because the collision happened so close to the benches, Boamorte felt as though he should get involved. Quick glance at the scores in the Championship, just to confirm that Nottingham Forest do lead 3-1 away at Barnsley. It was Lewis Graben that got the 3rd goal for Forest. Derby still leading against Reading. And that game's already into the 5th minute of injury time, so that's going to be finishing any second now, you would imagine. Derby still 1 up against Reading. The goal for Derby scored by Craig Forsyth. It's still Luton leading against Coventry by 5 goals to 0. Millwall still leading Bristol City by 1 goal to 0. Still goalless between Peterborough and Bournemouth. And so I'll go through the Champions League scores in just a second. But in the meantime, Fulham have got some space down the right. It's Mawson that brings the ball forward. Plays it to Adoy. Adoy's cross into the area is cleared away. Out for a throw to Fulham. Level with the edge of the Swansea penalty area just as we hit injury time in this game. And we're going to get 4 minutes of injury time. So Fulham, not long to go now with this scoreline. They'll feel confident that the 3 points should be heading their way. And across into the Swansea penalty area is straight into the arms of Hamer. So the Champions League scores: Bayern Munich now leading against Dynamo Kiev by 4 goals to 0. 2 from Lewandowski, Gnabry and Sane also getting goals for Bayern Munich in that game. Benfica are 2-0 up against Barcelona with Nunes and Silva getting the goals. And we've currently got a penalty waiting to be taken there by Benfica, so they could be leading a 3-0 very soon. It really is a bit of a collapse from the Catalan giants right now, Barcelona. All kinds of problems on and off the field. Juve still leading against Chelsea by 1 goal to 0. Federico Chiesa, excellent wide player, Italian international, giving Juve the lead. Manchester United 1-1 with Villarreal. Alsassa getting the goal for Villarreal, and Alex Telles with the equaliser for Manchester United. Salzburg 2-1 up against Lille, with Adeyemi scoring twice from the penalty spot, giving Salzburg their 2-goal lead. Yilmaz with the consolation late goal. A lifeline for Lille. Let's not say it's a consolation just yet. Still got nearly 15 minutes to play in that game. And Wolfsburg leading against Sevilla by 1 goal to 0. The goal scored by Stefan. Now it's going to be a corner kick to Fulham down. The corner kick to Swansea down the right-hand side. A long ball played to the edge of the area was quickly hooked out, and then the ball is whipped in. Gazaniga comes out for this one. Well, he was never the most confident. Didn't see him play for Spurs very often, but certainly remember from his Southampton days, he wasn't the most confident goalkeeper on crosses. Excellent shot stopper, but not particularly confident there either as he came out for that one. We've been very glad to see that although a Swansea player beat him to the ball as he was trying to come out and punch it, the ball also went out for a goal kick off the Swansea players. So now it's a goal kick to Fulham. We've got 90 seconds of injury time still to play, and he really is taking as long as he possibly can. Hit Gazaniga with this goal kick. Must be bordering on a yellow card now, surely. With the amount of time he's taking. I can confirm that Benfica have scored their penalty, so they lead 3-0 now against Barcelona. Nunes with the goal from the penalty spot. But here at Craven Cottage, it's looking now as though Fulham are going to be winning this game by 3 goals to 1. All the damage done in the first half with that excellent hat-trick from Alexander Mitrovic. Fine margins though. Really, the first goal shouldn't have counted. He was offside. But that doesn't change the fact that Swansea have had more than enough time to get back into this game. They've had more than enough possession. The visitors have dominated this second half in terms of the possession stats. 70-30 for Swansea in the second half, and 63-37 in terms of the percentage of possession for Swansea throughout the 90 minutes. So really they should be, they've had the time and the opportunities to get back into this game, but they've just lacked that finesse in the final third. Far too many loose balls, far too many crosses that haven't found their target. And with less than 30 seconds to play now, you can see Ethan Laird just having a bit of a heated discussion with one of his teammates there about where they were or weren't for that last cross that he tried to put into the penalty area. It's been a frustrating evening for Swansea. I think it's always frustrating for managers, players and supporters when your team have had a lot of the ball and yet somehow have managed to lose by 2 or 3 goals. It's always just a little bit more of a conundrum as to why that's happened. But Paulo Gazaniga clears the ball down the field, and that is it as far as this game is concerned. Referee Joshua Smith calling time on this championship game from Craven Cottage, where Fulham have beaten Swansea City by 3-1. A hat-trick for Alexander Mitrovic. Goals all came in the first half on 12, 32 and 45 minutes. What proved to be a consolation goal for Swansea on 38 minutes, scored by Jamie Patterson. That's it for this game. Thank you very much for your company this evening. For myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz. Do join us again soon.